It's been 58 years since England won the World Cup, 38 years since the hand of God, 34 years since Waddle over the bar, 28 years since Southgate's penalty miss, 24 years since Romania's penalty, 22 years since Ronaldinho's free kick, 18 years since Ronaldo's wink, 16 years since we failed to qualify, 14 years since Lampard's goal, 12 years since Paolo's Panenka, 10 years since the disaster in Brazil, 8 years since that night against Iceland, 6 years against the heartbreak against Croatia, 3 years since defeat in the final, over half a century has led to this moment. We are one game away once again. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. It is Euros final day. We've been here before and we are here again, just under 9.5 hours until kickoff tonight in Berlin, where we face Spain, a side that have been undoubtedly the best side in the competition so far. And we haven't been fantastic, but we found a way to win, and we've been rewarded with a spot in the final. It's a one-off game. Anything can happen, and we're here to discuss it in the breakfast show. I've had my breakfast. It's not quite the breakfast show, but you get the gist. I've got a pack of fantastic guests joining me. Firstly, Josh, how are you? Haven't spoken to you for a while. Got your England shirt on. How are you feeling, mate?
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm not too bad. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. A little bit nervous as well. A couple more guests. Steve, how are you?
Morning. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Yes, good to see you.
And, well, Cohen's still in bed. He's not, but...
No, he's right.
He's not in bed. Yeah. He's there. But I guess Cohen's saving himself for later. I guess that's the gist. John's joined us. John, how are you, mate?
Yeah, no, all good, Tal. All good.
Oh, he is there. Are you making a sort of short appearance, short and sharp, Cohen, or are you staying?
I don't know.
Okay. Part-timer. Let's start with you, Josh. How are you? How are you feeling? Nerves creeping in yet?
Yeah, I've woke up a bit nervous, to be honest. I think Spain have been by far the best team this tournament. They blew everyone away apart from against Germany. That one went to extra time. I think that's the only a bit lucky. And apart from that, they blew everyone away. They played really. They weren't really a contender for me at the start. I'd have probably said my two favourites would have been England and France, and then probably Germany and Portugal. They probably wouldn't have been in my top four favourites. If you look at the squad on paper, it's not brilliant, but they just play so well. They've got such a good system. They play attacking football. And for Rodri, I think he's by far the most important player to them. But as I say, the team is not that good on paper. Like I looked at the back four for the semi-final. I think it was Cucurella, Nacho Fernandez, Laporte, and Jesus Navas. I think Jesus Navas is only in for Carvajal, who was suspended, so he should be back in tonight. But even then, I do think after defence, they can definitely be got at. I think it's not the strongest defence, although you could also say that about ours. And the midfield is very good with Rodri and Fabian Ruiz. I think they're probably the two most important players to them. Rodri definitely. And Dani Olmo as well has also had a really good tournament. And obviously the front three of Lamine Yamal, Williams, and then Morata is always going to be dangerous. So yeah, they've definitely been the best team so far this tournament. So it's going to be a tough game. I think England will go into its second favourites. Obviously, we haven't been too great this tournament. I think the game against the Netherlands was like the best we played by far. I think we've been poor in all the rest of the games, to be honest. I thought Switzerland, it was slightly better. I think it's been getting gradually better every game in the knockouts. Switzerland, it was slightly better, still not great. And Netherlands, I thought that first half, we looked really sharp, by far the better side. And second half, it wasn't pretty, but still managed to get the job done. Been a bit of a debate who to start, because obviously Watkins come off the bench and scored. I'd personally still start Harry Kane just because he's done so much for England. I think he's the country's all-time top scorer now. It'd be harsh to drop your captain. He's been the captain for about 4 tournaments now for the final. At the end of the day, he's still England's top scorer in this tournament. He's still got a chance of going for the Golden Boot, although he hasn't been as sharp as we would have liked to see. I think it'd still be very, very harsh to drop your captain, the top scorer for the final. So yeah, I think England will go into its second favourites, but they've definitely got a chance there, and Spain, they do have weaknesses.
Absolutely. And look, we haven't been fantastic in this tournament. That goes without saying. But Steve, do you think we've gradually got better? We've sort of, come up to a point now where we're hopefully going to get to a point of contesting with Spain tonight.
I think there's always a thing about tournament football, isn't it? That there's a mentality that group stages don't, they're sort of not life and death, are they? You can get through a group stage without performing your best. When you get to knockouts, that's when you have to start stepping up to the mark. Now, Southgate is not a flamboyant manager, and his teams are never going to be flamboyant. So I don't remember an England performance under Southgate really where you could say we started off and we went all out for it, because we're not that type of player. He's a cautious man. He's a thinker. Don't get me wrong. I think what he's done for the England team over the last X number of years has been amazing, because he inherited an absolute shambles. And he was a bit of a Hobson's choice as well, because fundamentally nobody else wanted the job. So you've got to give him credit for what he's done, but he's done it in his own way, and he'll continue to do it in his own way. As far as tonight's concerned, I don't see him making any major changes to the starting lineup. He may bring in substitutes a little bit earlier, because let's face it, timing doesn't always work as it should, and scoring in the 90th minute, 2 games on the trot or whatever it is not very good for the nerves of anybody on the bench or the people watching, come to that, because let's face it, it was a little stressful. So I don't see any major changes tonight. I think he'll start with the same 11, and I think it will be, played in the sort of Southgate way.
Yeah, well, and there won't be too much deviation from what he wants. He'll believe that what he does has got us here once again to a second consecutive.
Well, let's remember that if we won every game 1-0, we'd all say that was really boring, but we'd be European champions.
Yeah. So in tournament football, it's finding that winning sort of winning method, and whether that's good football or bad football, I don't think Southgate particularly cares at this moment in time. Do you think, John, today? Do you think this is not make or break for Southgate? But do you think if we lose today, do you think he'll go? Do you think if he wins, do you think he'll go as well? I don't know what they'll do with him, to be honest.
Jake, this sort of reminds me of a similar situation of where we went to with Moyes going into that, to that European final, in like the sense of, I think it will be his decision. I think if he goes, I think he can sort of look back and go, well, look, I've done something which no other England manager's done before by 2 consecutive Euro finals. I'm the first one to take England to any final on foreign soil, and that sort of stuff. At the same point, if he goes and wins it, I think he can also walk out and go, but I've done what I was sent here to do, basically. So I think, I think it's definitely his decision at the end of the day. It does make me wonder whether potentially going to America in the World Cup in 2 years' time, if he then wants to sort of hand it over to someone else, and that is it wouldn't surprise me either way, Jake, to be fair. I sort of think like the pressure's off him a little bit, in that sense.
Yeah, I think, coming into the last 16 with that whole Slovakia debacle, I felt like people were thinking, right, this is the moment where he's got to save his job now. It feels like we've got past that sort of stage, and the sort of big outcry of emotion that Southgate gave the England fans in that stadium after the semi-final. He just went one more, and you feel like he's got everybody together again now. There was boos, there was jeers towards the back end of the group stages and into the last 16 games, but he feels like in the Switzerland penalty win and with a better performance against the Netherlands, Josh, he sort of reignited and reunited the fan base to believe again, effectively.
Yeah. I think with Southgate, I think some people just forget when they're criticising Southgate, just like where we were when he come in. I think people forget how bad it was at the time. He come in off the back of Iceland when, it was a bad time for the country. We had hardly any players coming through No one wanted the job. You know, when he first come in, he had players like Jake Livermore and Jack Cork playing in the midfield. Like, it was really bad time when he come in. And then since he's come in, he's had 4 tournaments. He's got us to a semi-final, 2 finals, and a quarter-final. So you can't knock his record. You look where we were when he come in, and off the back of Iceland, like, it was the lowest of the lows. And then you look what he's done since. So when people are criticising Southgate, some people they have short memories. They do forget how bad it got before he was here. Although this tournament, I do think some of his decisions have been quite poor. The subs too late has just been constant, really, and being too loyal to certain players has been quite frustrating. But to be fair, in the semi-final, he brought Watkins and Palmer at the right time, and that made a difference. So he did get it right in the semi-final. I do think after this tournament, win or lose, he should go. I probably think he should have went after the last one, to be honest, just because if he takes it any further now, he could risk ending on a sour note. If he leaves now, win or lose, I think he can walk away with his head held high. 2 finals, although he hasn't won anything if we lose. 2 finals, a semi-final, a quarter-final. He's done a good job. But if he tries to take it into the next World Cup, he just could risk it and end on a sour note if we go out early in that one. I just think it's time for something new, win or lose. I think this should be his time to go. But I think some of the criticism he's got has been harsh because we haven't had a manager who's done this well for us in God knows how long. First time we've ever got to a final on foreign soil, and he's got us to back-to-back finals, and we haven't got to a final obviously since '66. So yeah, you can't knock his record, but I think after this tournament, win or lose, I think it's time to go.
Absolutely, I think that's fair. Steve, you can jump in there.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the problem is that would any of us want the job? Yeah, first point. And secondly, who are we going to replace him with, Josh? You know, let's look at the long list of candidates that would want the England job, which, let's face it, is the biggest, I think, largest poison chalice in the world, really. But you know, let's look at the long list of people who could potentially come in.
David Moyes.
Scottish. Not sure. You know, lots of people are saying Eddie Howe. Why would he want to leave? Why would he want to leave Newcastle?
Yeah, no,
when he's in a good position.
I'm pretty sure I see like the other day, like the favourite was Potter, wasn't it? And I was like, where are we going with that? Like, we're going sort of. What does that give you? Which Southgate doesn't? Do you know what I mean?
You know, don't get me wrong. You know, everybody has their time span and their lifespan for a particular job, and I don't care whether that's a football manager or in any other job. Jobs aren't for life anymore. But the problem you've got is that where's the succession planning? The FA are particularly good at being ostriches. You know, they preen their feathers and then bury their heads. And where's the succession planning? Should we have somebody in there working with Southgate already who is going to take the job over? I don't know. It's a real poison chalice for anybody that went in there. You look at the names that have come and gone in disgrace, foreign managers, English managers. I don't know where you'd go if you took Southgate out. He's not only, you've got to remember, he's not only shaped the England team, he reshaped the structure of the FA regarding the England team, because he came through from the under 23s and he knows the background to the FA. He was able to go and say, I'll do the job, but I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
If you don't want me to do it my way, I won't do the job. And what he's done is he's come through with at least some sort of semblance of a plan of how to bring the under 19s, under 21s, under 23s through to the full England team. And that's what you call succession planning. Now, what they haven't done is said, who's going to take over after Southgate? They haven't, explored that.
I think that's, that is that's the $1 million question that will have to be answered then. And that's for people that get paid significantly more than we do to make that decision. And I hope that decision gets made astutely when it happens, whether it's after this tournament or in the build up to or after the next one. I don't know. But movement and change will have to take place at some point, and I think it will be sooner rather than later. Let's have a look at some comments and see who is joining us. Good morning, Fatted Up You Well. Yeah, this is my West Ham England shirt from 1966. Again, we haven't won a major trophy as a country without West Ham representatives in the squad. And again, if we win it today, that will remain, of course. I'm not quite going to say West Ham won the World Cup unless Jared Bowen comes on and scores the winner today. And then undoubtedly, Aston Villa and West Ham had won England the Euros. Good morning, Jamie. I hope you are well. 58 years since winning a trophy, the fourth longest run without a trophy. Yeah, good. And good morning, Michael. So nice to see you. That's a bleak way to start things, isn't it? Let's hope that is gone today. Let's hope so. We have the muscle. They have the techers. Fair enough. Fatty says Rice needs to leave something on some of their show-off players early in the game. He's been poor, Rice. He's been really, really poor. Look, West Ham fans have watched him consistently for about 5 years, and I can't even recollect a period of more than 2 or 3 games where he's been this poor in succession. He's really underwhelmed me to the point of getting quite frustrated with him, to be honest, which is very, very rare. Most as if Southgate had some balls. He dropped Kane for Watkins, someone to occupy their defenders. Kane drops too deep. In no world is he ever going to drop Kane in a final. I think that's fair. Look, I take the point that Kane's been frustrating. He's played as a defensive midfielder for quite a lot of the games. He's dropped incredibly deep. Watkins comes on, links up with Palmer, who was the other sub, and scores the goal to put us through to the final. What I'd suggest to Southgate is to put Watkins up there with Kane and get them to link off each other to give Kane some company up there, because the only reason he's coming so deep is because he's not getting the ball and because he's not getting it. And then he ends up on the left or the right hand side trying to put the ball into the box where he should be the one in the box receiving the cross. Kane needs to be in the middle. Kane needs to leave all of that midfield stuff to the midfielders. He's not a midfielder. He's there to score goals, and that's what we need to get him back doing this afternoon, this evening, whatever. I can't see any changes, but maybe Shorten. That's the only one at left back. Trippier has been a bit of a weak link, which it's caused us to be incredibly unbalanced in terms of our team selection and how we've set up with Trippier on that side. Our left-hand side has been practically non-existent for the whole tournament. Shaw came in, has come in for a couple of substitute appearances. Surely he's fit enough now. Would you risk it? Hasn't played a full 90 minutes since February. Would you risk putting in a natural left back in who hasn't played in Luke Shaw? What will we do, boys? John, I'll start with you. Shaw back in or keep with Trippier?
I think I said the other night, Jake, I would be amazed if he changes anything. I get that Shaw gives us that balance on the left-hand side. I think the thing which I said the other night is Yamal cuts in from the left. So naturally Trippier's being right-footed, I think could take that part out. Again, we've got to think he's only played 75 minutes since February. Do you know what I mean? So whether we start him or not, I just can't see it. I'll be amazed. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was another thing like Wednesday night where Trippier starts, he comes on at half time possibly and sees the rest through. But potentially thinking that this game could potentially go all the way, has he got 120 minutes in him after playing 75 minutes? I'll be amazed, mate, but you never know.
Yeah, we'll see. But the question is, were we better with Shaw? Steve, did you think we looked more balanced and more composed? I thought we looked a little bit better, but it's whether that risk is worth taking for Southgate today.
I mean, we definitely looked better balanced, and any team would look better balanced. So it has the correct footed players playing in the correct places and in their correct positions. Because England teams in the past, let's face it, we've been past masters at saying, there's a really good left back playing for club X, Y, or Z. Let's play him at right wing because that's what we do. Because that's the England way of doing things. So if he wanted to bring Shaw in, you have to remember that he doesn't necessarily have to play the 120 minutes, because Trippier didn't play 90 minutes in the last game. He was substituted out. As long as he keeps it up his sleeve that he can bring somebody on to replace him, i.e. Trippier or rearrange or whatever. If Shaw plays the first half and we're 3-0 up, what's the issue? Because he can be substituted and Trippier can make at least 2 mistakes, and we could still be in front. So that's the other way of looking at it, is that you could bring him on at the start and take him off later.
Very true. Very true. Josh, Shaw or no Shaw from the start?
Yeah, I think we've definitely been better with Shaw when he's come on. I think at one point in the Switzerland game, he did have him centre back, which he looked a bit dodgy at. But when he's played left back and plays Trippier, I think he has looked a lot better. But I don't see a world where Southgate's going to change it for the final, to be honest. He's played Trippier in every game, so I doubt he's just going to change it for the final. I think taking Luke Shaw was just a bit of a poor decision by Southgate from the start, because he wasn't fit till the quarter final. I think only taking Shaw as your only left back was quite a poor decision. He did take Joe Gomez, but it's just not easy at all. So that shows he doesn't really trust him. So why he's taking him, I don't really know. But yeah, I just can't see Southgate changing Trippier when he's played him every game of the tournament. I just can't see him dropping him for the final. He might bring Shaw about half an hour to go on again, 20 minutes to go, like he has the last couple of games. And I think that's what you'll probably see again. I don't think he'll change it.
No, I think Fathead says here, I think he will be 60 minutes, he'll play an hour, that's it. So there'll be an early sub, whether he comes on or goes off at that time. It'll be up to Southgate's discretion to what way he utilises Luke Shaw tonight. England fans singing Champions of Europe, exactly like part-time West Ham fans, exactly. We've been singing it all season. All these other idiots are going to go out to Germany and sing it for 2 weeks, then come back and not sing it again. I mean, we're going to sing it again next season. We're not even champions of Europe, because why not? We can, and no one's going to stop me. See, Jamie discusses here about potential of Tony Watkins or Tony. Don't know whether if he looks to turn to his bench with half an hour to go, which one's he going to pick? I think he'll now be looking towards Watkins, you'd presume, after the piece of magic that has catapulted us into the final. But I don't like to get into heads of managers because it's a murky place to be. Fathead says, I'd have Trippier right wing back, Saka left wing back, and then bring Shaw on at the 50-minute mark and swap Saka to the right. Give the defenders a headache. That's given me a headache as well this early in the morning. But Fathead, I admire the inquisitiveness there. So Trippier right wing back. Okay, so the three at the back, which has worked. Saka at left wing back. Okay, we could deal with it, and then bring Shaw on, and then Saka goes back out there. Okay, I don't mind. Don't think it's the game for Watkins. It's a Tony defense who need a bit of physical play like an Antonio. We'll talk about Watkins with Josh in just a second. I'll take the England job, but I imagine it'll be Howe or Klopp. Oh, can you imagine Klopp? Oh my lord. Newcastle do have massive financial issues. Howe won't be there in 12 months' time. I'll tell you that. I don't think he will be there at all. Harry Potter waiting in the wings, but not an improvement. Potter at Brighton was better football with worse players than England and the Southgate. Yeah. Fat Frank. Fancy Fat Frank, anyone?
God, no. Seriously.
Peter reckons you've grown up since the end of last season, Josh. Have you put some makeup on or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's something, to be honest.
Different Barnet or something, it's all
potentially had a haircut last week. Maybe that's it.
There you go. Peter is Peter reckons you've changed in the month that we haven't seen you.
Maybe the England top, I don't know.
Maybe it's England top. Is that 85 quid's worth of England top?
Oh yeah, I don't know how much it was, to be honest, but I'd imagine it was a few quid. Like,
he didn't even pay for it. Someone else paid for it then, dear me.
Yeah, bring back this for Christmas over there.
Oh, I see. Like just saying, 1966, England's win a few weeks after Labour win a landslide election, and also if we want to make similarities here, we could say the last time that England won a major trophy, the year before, West Ham won a European trophy. We won a European trophy in 1965, and we won a trophy in 2023. Someone put that on Twitter yesterday, and I went, I like it. I like it. Right. Kane has been playing far back in some games. He's like an extra centre half. I mean, just get on the pitch, Kane, and stay there. Tell him to not even bother going into our half. Just stay in.
Jake, the thing is with that is that that's great. If we adopt football sort of strategy and actually move forward, then Kane can move forward. But at the moment, we're playing better at passing the ball backwards than the England rugby team. I'd like to see some stats from somebody about how many passes the England team have played backwards in the games they played. I think it's probably 50% of the passes they've made have been backwards. Now, if you keep going backwards, you're shrinking the pitch. You're reducing the space between the defenders and the attackers. Kane has got to come into his own half because he'd be offside, and then you squeeze it a little bit more, and all of a sudden, yeah, he's an extra centre half. It's because we have this fixation with only playing towards our own goal. And analyse the games we've played, and it's just been staggering the amount of back passes that have gone backwards. You look at teams like Switzerland, Turkey, Spain, their first instinct is to go forward. Our first instinct is to see, oh, we got a corner, let's give it back to Pickford.
But it's all about possession retention, so you can sit there in their sort of debrief meeting after the game and say, yeah, but our passing accuracy was 91%. Yeah, because 75% of the passes were between Stones and Gay and back to Pickford again, keeping the ball for 2.5 minutes and not doing anything with it.
But what's mad about this, though, Jake, right? I mean, obviously, look, England haven't been great. Everyone's knocking Kane. We could still potentially win this, and Kane could still win the Golden Boot here, which is the most craziest thing about it all. It's like, we haven't done it in the fashion of what people would want us to do it in. But, if somebody had said that before the tournament, you would take it, wouldn't you? It's...
Absolutely. Peter says need to go at them from the off instead of sitting back and letting them dictate the play. I think what Southgate is going to do here is he's going to sit off them to start with, because we're going to catch them on the counter attack. That's going to be his train of thought, because Spain love to come at teams, and he's going to go, right, we're going to do them on the counter. That's exactly what's going to happen tonight. There isn't going to be any let's go at them from the off from Southgate. Has that sentence ever left his mouth ever? No. I admire it, Peter. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But they're going to play into our hands in terms of the counter-attacking way. How many times have I said that over the last 2 years supporting West Ham? They're going to come at us, and that's going to play into our hands because we play counter-attacking football. Brilliant. Anyway, right. Let's a few predictions coming in. We'll come on to those a little bit later on. You're a bit ahead of my show schedule in the chat, so I've seen some negative predictions in there. I don't like it. Watch Kane get a first-half hat-trick and me go into hiding. What's this here? If England win, I'll buy Jake as many driving lessons as we win. Lovely. That's a deal. That is a deal. Lovely. We'll go with that, shall we? Jake will find you. Yeah, Watkins to West Ham in the summer. We've chucked 30 million at you, Josh. That'll do it, won't it?
I think might need a couple more noughts on the end of that.
Couple more noughts on the end. Right.
In other words, not for sale.
Not for sale. Michael says we need to play three at the back to smother the midfield, or we lose. Midfield is where the game will be won or effectively lost. I agree. Absolutely, we need to be dominant in that midfield. They've got decent midfielders. We all know that. So have we, and we need that balance of Mainu and Rice and Bellingham in there to work together collectively to try and, as Michael says, Josh, smother the midfield.
Yeah, that's the thing. That I think the problem's been, though, when Kane's been dropping deep, Bellingham or Foden, they're also still in the midfield. If Kane drops deep, you need someone else running behind. Then you've got Kane basically playing as an extra midfielder, and then you've still got Bellingham or Foden trying to operate in the same space. So if Kane drops deep, you want one of Bellingham or Foden or one of the wingers for them running behind to fill the space where Kane's not there. But if you've just got Kane coming into midfield, and they've got no one on the last defender, which is a bit of a problem, which is why when Watkins and Tony come on, just give you something different, because straight away they're running behind and create more space for the midfielders and the creative players like Foden and Bellingham. Whereas the problem we've got with Kane is he's just dropping deep, and then there's just no one to fill the space where he should be, really. I'm
just going to stop you there, Josh. 2 seconds. Apologies. We are going to go live to Berlin, so you're not going to get this anywhere else. We've pulled the big bucks out for this. Live to Berlin, where hopefully there's more England fans than Spain fans. We'll soon find out. What's it like in Berlin?
Hi, Jake. I can barely hear you, but I thought I'd try and give you a little bit of atmosphere over here.
Brilliant. Thank you. Just a score prediction. What's the atmosphere like?
So the atmosphere when we got off the train, we flew to Basel yesterday, did an epic 9-hour train journey into Berlin and got to Berlin last night at about 9 p.m. We walked out of Berlin train station. As we came off the platform, there was just a wall of noise as all the people are arriving from different destinations. So you can hear all the England fans, you can hear all the Spanish fans. It was fantastic. So we went out last night, found our hotel, went out last night to a little square and had some beers, met some fans from, you're all England here, right? So sat down, had beers with Sheffield United fans, Barnsley fans. The Sheffield United fan only took 30 minutes to bring up Tevez. Really good night. And then this morning, we made our way over to the fan zone. Had a bit of a look at the Brandenburg Gate. The fan zone's not actually open until 2, so we'll wander back over there a bit later. And now we've found some bars by the river. So I'll do a big quick scan round if you want.
Yeah. There we go. England fans in the bar.
Hang on, I'm getting told that's rubbish. Hold on a sec. Let a young one do it.
There we go. Brilliant. Brilliant. Is there plenty of confidence amongst England fans?
Hi guys. Can you be on an English stream? So here's the Spanish.
There we go. Let's go full screen on it.
What's the score? What's the score?
3-1.
England 3-1. Oh no.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you for stuff a bit later.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Cheers.
No bother. Bye.
There you go. See, we've gone live to Berlin. We had some Spanish fans there as well, and some England fans, all in the bar together. Do any of you wish you're in Berlin? Josh, do you wish we would get on a plane this morning and go to Berlin?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was like Sky Sports News, that wasn't it? Getting Berlin.
Wow. Well, we've got contacts in high places here. I've got a quite decent management team that sorts all that out. I just turn up and turn this on and talk. I'm not the brains. I'm just the face, as they say. Right. It says, did West Ham win a trophy last year? We didn't talk about it exactly. We never mention it ever. Ever. Get a corner, pass it back to the keeper. Andy, thanks for joining us. I hope you are well. Happy Hammeret. Hope you are as well. Didn't England beat Spain in a shootout in '96? I don't know. I wasn't born.
Yeah. Stuart Pearce, wasn't it? Stuart Pearce is a
cheap shot, Jake. Cheap shot.
I wasn't even a thought. Me and Josh weren't even in the picture. I mean, I was minus 11 at that point. I mean, come on, you can't be chucking that at me, Fad. I was minus 11. Happy, I'm absolutely buzzing for the game tonight. Really feeling nervously confident. Something like that. I tell you what, yeah. Mum told him off there. Said, "Give it to me. I'll do a proper pan round." There we go. So exactly, Sky Sports News is the place to watch tonight. We talked about this the other night. Don't watch the actual game on terrestrial free television. What you want to do is you want to go to Sky Sports News, watch some former Spurs player like Jamie O'Hara sit there and talk about the game behind a paywall when you can watch it for free. Or not for free, you got to pay for it on the BBC or ITV. That's exactly what people should be doing. If there's more than 20 people watching Sky Sports News between 8 and 10 o'clock tonight, then there needs to be an inquest about what the hell is going on in this country. Right, rant over. We are going to go on to predictions, and there's 3 of you here. I'm going to go against all of my will. I'm going to let you guys go first. So the rule is, if you're not familiar, is if somebody says the prediction you're going to go for, you've got to change it. No one can go with the same prediction because otherwise that's boring. Everyone's got to say a different prediction. Josh, you're next to me, so I'm going to start with you.
Right, so I'm just going to go 1-0 England, John Stones to score.
There we go. Steve?
I'm going to go England 9-7 on penalties.
I wonder where you're going with that. 9-7 on penalties. So does that mean it gets to Pickford?
8-7 on penalties. Yeah, it'll go through the 5 and it'll go on from there.
Into the sudden death. John?
I'm staying with what I said the other night, Jake. 2-2 full time, 3-2 England after extra time.
Lovely.
Bowen's one and scoring the 120th minute. He goes through. That's it, done. And then we can dine out on that for another At 58 years. Well.
Exactly. Yeah. Honestly, I would love nothing better for Jared Bowen to come on and score the winner tonight, because I will be insufferable for weeks with other fans. And there is no doubt about it. I'm going to go not down the penalties route. I think we're going to win after extra time. It's going to be 1-1 in the 90 minutes, and I'm going to go for a Jared Bowen winner for a 2-1 victory. Honestly, the smile would not be removed from my face for about 3 weeks afterwards if that happens. I'm going to rock in Sports Day tomorrow in school. Honestly, it's going to be sensational.
And you get a free driving lesson.
Well, yeah, a free driving lessons, plural, by the sound of it. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope, Fathead, eh? Right, the final question. We've talked about this before. It's a BBC night tonight. Are you going with Guy Mowbray and Alan Shearer, or are you going with Sam Matterface, Lee Dixon, and potentially Ali McCoist?
I'll be BBC, but I think, as I said like the other day, I might flick over to ITV at half time.
Yeah, for Neville Wright and Keane.
Neville Wright and Keane.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
BBC for me. Can't stand the way ITV keep cutting in with adverts at every opportunity. Half time, let's have 93 minutes of adverts in half time. No, not for me.
Josh?
Yeah, BBC for me as well. I think when it was Matterface and Lee Dixon, I think it might have been the last group game. It was just horrendous. I don't think BBC is great. I don't like that guy Mowbray either, to be honest. But yeah, I'd take anything over them two on ITV.
Actually, Josh, I might, Jake. Sorry, I might actually tune into Talk Sport with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy doing their live.
Because instead of watching the game, what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch Cundy and O'Hara sit there on the Talk Sport sofa and be idiots. Yeah, brilliant.
What you can do is you can watch the live TV and listen to the radio commentary, and they're never in sync.
Exactly. Let's be fair. I think ITV's viewership will suffer tonight after it not being Clive Tildesley on the final. I think I'd have been watching it. I think I'd be watching ITV undoubtedly if it was Tildesley tonight, but he's been sent home and it's Matterface, and I think they'll suffer tonight. I don't mind Guy Mowbray, so that's what we'll be going for, hopefully, if I've got any say of it in my house. Let's take some final comments. Did Jake still? I haven't gone through the predictions in the chat. All right, where did I get to? 3-1 to Spain. Optimism as always, Peter. I did. Sorry, Michael. Yeah, but Michael, you're not on the screen. I'm sorry. 1-1 extra time. 2-1 England. I didn't actually read that, which is great minds think alike. 2-1 England in the 90 minutes. 2-0 Spain. I'm afraid early goal knocks us, and then another when we start pushing in the second half. Come on, Fathead. You're only saying that because you've put out there you're going to pay for driving lessons now, so you got your Spain shirt out. And he says, good luck, England. My prediction, 1-0. There we go. So that has been the breakfast morning show right here on West Ham Unofficial. I'm going to rejoin you again at 6 o'clock, 2 hours before kickoff, for an extended live build-up show, because England, they've released a team lineup whenever they like. Clubs, they announce it an hour before kickoff. Sometimes it's an hour and 10 minutes for England. Sometimes it's 50 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour and a half. So I'm going to rejoin you at 6 o'clock tonight, hopefully not on my own, discussing the game as we edge towards kickoff and receive that all-important team lineup and get closer to the first ball being kicked in Berlin. A huge thank you to my 3 guests this morning. Steve, I've pulled you out of bed. I've pulled you out of your retirement to come and to work this morning, to put in the hard yards for 40 minutes.
Not good enough.
Thank you very much, Steve. Josh, thank you very much as well. And John, thank you very much indeed. Some final comments before we go. Bowen scoring the winner. If you think you'll be insufferable, Jake, imagine what Danny Dyer will be like. He will be loving it for weeks on end. No answer should ever be Sam Matterface, I agree. BBC with Radio 5 live commentaries and saying that there's the options are endless. Go have a Pringle Fest. I actually finished the Pringles, so it took me 3 days to eat the pot of Pringles. Somebody else had a few of them as well, because they went down significantly when I wasn't here. So I'm not, casting aspersions, but I am. So maybe, if needed, Peter, do you want me to go to the shop and get some Pringles before 6 o'clock if you're going to rejoin me then, so we can have another Pringle Fest? I don't know. Shall I do it? Shall I not? It's really irrelevant, but come on, England. Josh, Steve, I've just read along. I went Josh Steve Cohen. Cohen only turned up part-time. And John is it. But you just read along my screen because it says Cohen on there. But anyway, thank you very much indeed, all of you. Come on, England, and we will see you soon. Any final thoughts, boys?
All done.
Yeah.
All done. Tomorrow's hangover. That's all it is.
Yeah, a public bank holiday if we win, according to Keir Starmer. Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. See you all at 6. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of it. And let's hope the nerves are going to be intensified by 6 o'clock tonight. But yeah, let's hope we can do it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you, guys.
Cheers, boys. Thank you
later.
very much.